Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, and today we are going to be fixing up the right side of the city here because I've been making a big mess over here recently and I want to fix that. So the main goal for today is we're going to go ahead and fix up this section here and add the platform in, and then we are going to come down this way and completely redo this whole section here. We're going to get rid of the road, we're going to move the bonsai tree out of here, and we are going to extend the platform as far down as we can. And hopefully this is all going to look really, really good when it's done. Some of the other projects in this area include the train track here, meeting with the engine shed here. I think what I might actually end up doing is moving the entire shed over 2 studs that way. So then I can have I would have to move this track over 4 studs then. But in doing that, I would have the train track come through here. Let me see if I can get an example for you. So instead of here, like it is now, it would be right about here. So the main line here is on the left, and then the new line would be on the right here where the brown is instead of the black. So it would look like that there, and then I can get the Trix Bricks 4 stud wide crossover switch. So then I could just seamlessly connect the 2 of those together, and then that would pretty much be that. But haven't bought that yet, and I'm going to save that for its own video, so definitely stay tuned for that. And then also, I need to go ahead and make the curved crossing over here, so that is something to do as well. But the main focus of today's video is the train station, as well as all of the platforms and things like that as well. All right, so I figured I would start with this section right here, because that seemed easiest, but what I might actually do is I might end up taking this whole section apart as well. I might do that just because I want to kind of make this one cohesive thing here, obviously in different sections, but I want this to all look like it belongs together, because at the moment, when you put these 2 together, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. So I think we're going to move the fountain. I think we're going to take out this angled wall here, and we are going to get rid of most of, well, I guess the destruction's already started, but we are going to go through and get rid of most of this on the inside of the curve and probably have it match the outside of the curve a little bit more, just to have it a little bit more green. Now that there's not buildings blocking this area here, it doesn't really make sense for it to be kind of muddy and things like that. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and we're going to bring both of these base plates over to the build table, and we are going to do some destruction really quick, and then we're going to build it back up, and hopefully it's going to look a lot better. All right, so I went ahead and I completely renovated this section right here. And so I went ahead and I made the platform longer here. I just have to go in and add the tiles in, and then this whole base plate is pretty much done here. The thing over here that I did was I took out this whole section here, and I also fixed up the ballasting on the curve here. So now that all looks pretty good. And then that is pretty much that. And so that took me quite a while, but I think that looks pretty good. And I said earlier, I'm considering putting the bonsai tree here, and I think I'm going to run with that. I think that's a good idea. And then here, we are going to add a staircase. I probably will just take that one, I think, and then put it here. And then hopefully we can figure out a new ramp design. Maybe not in today's video, but definitely in the near future, I want to get a new ramp design to add to the train station here. I think that would make it look a lot better. But for the meantime, we're going to take the stairs and put them over here just because I like the look of them a little bit better and I want to see them. So that is that. And then we can go ahead and demolish all of this here. I might also put the corner kiosk here as well. I think that might be a decent spot for it. So then we'll have bonsai tree here maybe, and then the corner kiosk right next to it. I think that would work out pretty good, because then it will kind of fill in the space nicely, and then this will kind of be a little bit of an open space and a path to the staircase, and then botanical garden, town hall, and then all of the other buildings around here. So I think that's a good plan. So without me talking too much, let's go ahead and let me bring this plate back over to the build table, and then we can steal the bonsai tree as well as the corner kiosk and add them in. All right, so I have been pretty busy once again, and I went ahead and I added the bonsai tree in here, and I did have to change up a couple of the leaf pieces here just so they didn't hit the trains as they were going by, but that's all good. I do need to go in and just smooth out these edges a little bit, but I ran out of green 4x4 plate, which I'll talk about in just a second. But I also went ahead and I added the corner kiosk over here. I don't know if it's going to stay right here, but I want it to be in this general area, so I just put it there temporarily. So that is pretty much that, and I did add just a hint of the sidewalk here. I do still need to go in and add the sidewalk extensions and things like that, but that will come in due time. I'm pretty sure I showed this already, but I added the tiles in here, and I just need to grab 2 more of these bracket pieces, and I added the staircase over here, and then I just need a path to connect it to the road, and that's fine. And then train station itself is pretty much the same. And then this is where it starts to fall apart just a little bit, and that is because, like I said, I ran out of green 4x4 plate. And what I could do is I could take all of this 4x4 plate here and then just kind of sprinkle it throughout the areas that it's needed. But even then, I don't think that would be enough, but I'm probably still going to end up doing that anyways. But this is where we're at right now, so I did have to dissect a lot of this because there was that road and the train crossing here. But that is all gone now, so this is all good to go. And then it goes around the curve, and then it follows the rest of the curve over that way, which is pretty much the same. But this section now is all pretty much good to go. This section of platform just needs to be connected in, but I can't do that until I get that green plate in. Same with this here. And then I'm going to have to modify this a little bit because it was hitting the green plate here. So that's another thing that I have to do. But I'm happy with this. I think this is coming along good. So that is pretty much where I'm at here. I think that covers almost everything that I've done so far. It might not look like much, but this looks a lot cleaner than it did a couple hours ago. So I'm really happy with this. I think this is looking a lot better. I could extend the platform out a little bit more, but I don't think I want to do that at the moment. I just want to get that section done. So with that being said, I think that's what we're going to run with next. And what I might also end up doing is moving all of these train tracks over. I might do that in this video, but I probably won't because I'm going to save that for the engine shed video once I finally get all of that figured out. But with all of that being said, let me go ahead and let me dissect that plate there for the pieces. And then we can go ahead and fix up all these gaps here. And then we can go along the way and hopefully finish up the rest of the platform here. Okay, so it might come as a surprise. It certainly did to me, but I actually had enough. I had enough green plate to go through this whole section here. And while I didn't redo all of the tiling in here, I feel like that is just going to be a whole detail-oriented video where I just go through and I add details all throughout the city. So with that being said, I think I'm just going to rip up all of these tiles here and then probably just throw them in a bag or something. And then once I figure out what exactly I am doing here with all of that, then I can go in and add the special patterns and stuff like that. But I'm really happy with this. This looks great. The after shot of this compared to the beginning of the video here looks so much better, looks so much cleaner than the beginning of the video. And so with that being said, I think we're going to wrap up the video here. I am extremely happy with this. I think this is looking great. And so that's going to wrap up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, make sure to like the video and subscribe, as well as click the bell notification so you don't miss any future uploads, like adding all those other details to the city. If you have any feedback for me, make sure to drop a comment down below to let me know what you think. But in the meantime, I've got quite a bit of cleanup to do. And so once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.